I always wanted to draw. I like arts. I like drawing. I like anything that could express myself. And then my father told me that artists are only famous after they die. So I have to do something that I can use my art but get money from it. And after a while, I started to understand the idea that you can be a fashion designer. I am Mauricio Polacek from Brazil, and I live in Tel Aviv, Israel, and I'm a fashion designer and a fashion illustrator. Well, I was born in Brazil, in São Paulo, which is the largest city in Brazil, from immigrant Jews from Romania and Hungary, and they were very religious. So I always went to religious schools, and that obviously had an effect on me because it was difficult for me to accept the things that I had to do. It's not like, do you want to do? You have to do. More so, I never liked to dress like everyone else. Without knowing, I already had a statement that I am not going to dress in black and white. I'm not going to be like that because that's not me. I cannot be like everyone else. One day, there was a big show, a big festival in Brazil. It's called Rock in Rio. One of the artists invited for the show, her name was Nina Hagen. And when I saw that, and I saw who she was, how she was dressed and how she was singing, I was like, there is life out there and I'm not participating in it. I want that. I don't want those rabbis. I don't want this black and white thing. I want that, whatever that is. So that's why I say that my life is before Nina Hagen and after Nina Hagen. So that was a crisis that my mom understood that she would have to negotiate. And I told her, enough of religion. And that was a very dark moment of my life. There is a price to pay when you do your own way, because people are going to judge you, and people are going to say something. I would question if you should do something if you don't feel 100% sure that you can do it without thinking twice about it. So I go for it. It's fun. And I heard there was like a good school, a good fashion school here in Israel. So I decided to apply. So I passed everything, but the director of the school, she had me do the color blindness test. And then she closed the book in the middle of the test. It's like, do you know you're colorblind? So that moment was like a hit in the face that my dream is gone. Very simple material, so I can go by what's written. It's very important for me because otherwise I can paint brown when I want red. For me, it's very hard to do something black. I don't like designing black clothes because when you design only black, for me, you're just taking away a crucial element of design, which is color. So I went to Tel Aviv University and I started a program for Middle East studies. And there was a course of arts. And the teacher saw a lot of fashion work in my books. Like, why don't you study fashion? Like, well, I tried, but they told me I can't. Why don't you go to study in the United States? They don't have that requirement there. You can't be colorblind and study fashion. Like, really? My world is not black and white. Apparently, I cannot see a few colors. So I sent letters of application to many fashion colleges. And to my surprise, I was accepted to every one that I applied. And I studied fashion in Philadelphia. And it was amazing. And I was like, this is what I want to do. By the end of it, I finding a job back in Brazil. I started working for very, very big companies. And that meant that all my ideas basically shrunk to, I have to do this because this doesn't sell. And the other problem was all of those factories are next to a river. everything, all the junk of the jeans, all the chemicals, everything went directly to the river. And it was stuck in my head like, how can this not happen? I didn't know, but I said one day I'll find a way to do it better. And one day they closed after 40 something years. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't have a job. I need something. And this is miraculously, they called me from Fashion Week in Sao Paulo. They said, are you interested in doing a show on Fashion Week? I didn't have anything. And worst of all, I didn't have the money to buy fabric. And when I hung up the phone, I was like, what am I going to do? And that's how it happened. I went to my mom's house and I started to, she wasn't there, luckily. And I started getting all things that I could find there that could transform into clothes. Tablecloth, towels, linens. Without knowing, I found a niche of something that I was doing that was special, that was different. But not because I wanted to do, I wanted to save my life and do a fashion show. So that's how it happened. Since there's nothing I can do with the skirt, I can transform it into a hat like this. So basically upcycling is taking things that people don't use it anymore and transforming them into something new, better, more beautiful, and still usable. That's the idea. So whatever you have left is very little. You minimized your waste, which is amazing. Any clothes on the hanger is just a clothes on a hanger. If it doesn't tell a story, it's very empty. I cannot be happy with a collection that is based on nothing.
A woman came to me and she said that her house was hit by a missile. Those are the clothes that survive. It's like, bring it to me and I will make something. It falls apart. You cannot even touch it. I have to give her a name. And I said, pieces hanging by a thread. Anything can break it. Anything can make it fall apart. So this is a piece that you cannot wear because it falls apart. And it's a very symbolic piece.
I never know how it's going to look in the end. I just know it has to be incredible. The pants, first of all, was made from many pieces of other pants, pieces of t-shirts, pieces of shirts. I always like the idea that you have something that was made for you. There's only one. So that's why I would call what I do street couture. Overall in my career, this one was my 41st fashion show. Everything was different from this last show. Maybe that's why it's so important to me, because it was unexpected, because I didn't want to do another show. And my friends started insisting and said, you like doing it, go for it. It's your thing. So we call it Revival. But then I had a secondary story in it. People come here from every other planet and everyone is so different and they come with a different culture, with a different design. Israel, the city of 1,000 planets. And so that's why I decided to combine different alien species, and each one is different, but it's combining into one beautiful collection. I have the moral obligation to continue what I started, to show others it can be nice, sometimes so much nicer than the regular fast fashion. I'm against fast fashion anyway. The amount of waste and garbage and problems that make by doing this kind of activity is unbelievable. But people are interested only, oh, it's cheap. So bad energy involved in it. Pay more. Yes, pay more, but buy less. You're gonna have something special. You're gonna have something that nobody has, only you have. It was made with love. It was made with care. So I'm going in another direction, which I believe is the right one. Of course, my mom was very angry at me because I took a lot of things that she liked.